Good morning, everyone. Now that we got the chickens fed, the most important thing on the farm right now, because man, I don't know about you guys, but through the roof. Rowan just hit the fuel tank with a rock. That's what you just heard. And we might get this again. Hey Rowan, don't do it again. This next project I want to take you guys to, we're going to be removing an asphalt shingle roof system. Eventually we're going to be installing a new metal roof. But first, we've got fascia rot to replace. We've got siding issues. We've got stucco that's going to be going on, painting. We got a balcony we have to waterproof as well. Let's get started. One thing that we're going to do here as we start replacing this roof is we're going to replace this rotten fascia here at the return. We're also going to be removing all the hardy siding that touches the roof to wall locations. We'll replace the copper flashing with new galvalume flashing to match the new standing seam. Okay, another thing that I want to do here at this location is replace all this hardy siding and go back with stucco. If the homeowner decides to do that, we are going to give them a proposal to replace all this using stucco. But take a look at the galvanized nails. Now, if you're installing hardy siding and you're going to have your nails exposed, it's a good idea to use stainless steel. In this case, galvanized was used. I want to remove all this so that as this rust accelerates, it does not damage the new metal roof below. All right, where I'm standing right now is the balcony. We're going to have to replace all these deck boards. Initially, I thought maybe we could save them, but now that I'm on them, I can see where they're starting to deteriorate. We'll replace all the deck boards, the sleepers below, waterproof this balcony, install copper flashings at the roof to wall locations here, solder those copper flashings so we don't worry about any water intrusion going back into the home. We'll replace the hardy siding with stucco at this area as well, should the owner decide to replace all the hardy siding with stucco at these second floor wall areas. All right, guys, take a look at this chimney. Now, one thing that we are doing for sure at this point is we're going to replace all that hardy siding with new stucco. We're going to give the homeowner the option to replace all the second floor roof areas with stucco siding as well. All right, guys, take a look at this exterior outlet. We're going to have to definitely get this replaced and get this up to code. All right, guys, we have this roof stripped. We have the plywood re-nailed to code. The felt is in place, and now it's time to get the siding removed. Now, I have a lot of homeowners ask me, why does my siding need to be replaced when you're installing a new metal roof? And the reason is we have copper flashing in this case at these roof to wall locations. This hardy needs to come off. It's going to break as we try to move this out and put new flashing behind it. So we're going to remove all the siding starting from this ridge. Now, when we do that, we only have a small amount of siding left over. In this case, we're going to strip all the hardy siding and replace it with a stucco simulated hardy look. All right, now technically this piece right here of hardy needs to be removed as well so that we can pull out this old flashing and prep it for the new flashing. So I'm going to show you from this line. So from this point right here where we're at all the way down, this hardy siding needs to be taken off. This hardy cannot be reused. It's too brittle, and as we take it off, it's going to break in several pieces. Now, when we get to this corner board, I want to replace this as well, but since we're going back with stucco, this will no longer be wood, and we'll do this out of stucco as well. And the reason is, this board touches all the way down to the flashing, and I would never want to leave a cut in wood. It's going to look like crap when the job is finished. So now some people may say, now when you're on a parallel section of a wall and you're dealing with your roof below, technically only these two pieces of hardy need to be replaced. However, we are going to stucco this entire section. So not just these two boards come off, but all these boards come off from the soffit all the way down to the roof. All right, take a look at these step gables. Now there's small pieces of siding here at these step gables. Every one of these has to be removed as well in order to get these walls properly flashed so that they are completely waterproofed. All right, we just got done removing this hardy siding from the chimney. Take a look at how bad the substrate is. That's the plywood directly behind the hardy siding. One reason I like working on top of 30-pound felt is the fact that as the debris falls and hits the 30-pound felt, in the event there's any holes in the 30-pound felt itself, it can be repaired much cheaper than peel and stick. All right, now that we have this removed, I've noticed there was no Tyvek or felt behind the hardy siding, which is why this plywood rotted out so bad. Now, one thing we're gonna do as we prep this for a stucco simulated siding look is I'm gonna add some 2x4s between each one of the 2x4s going up and down to strengthen this chimney. I don't want this chimney to move in any way. Once the stucco is here, the stucco could potentially crack and push behind the plywood. All right, take a look at as we remove this hardy siding. You can see at one point this had board and battens. Someone removed the battens and installed the hardy siding direct to the original siding. This time we're going to actually install a water barrier prior to installing this brand new stucco finish. All right guys, now this lower step gable, we are going back with hardy siding, and the reason is it starts from the ground to my right and works its way up to the soffit. In order to save the homeowner cost, we're only going to replace the hardy siding that's touching the roof areas only. Now, once this new stucco hardy simulated siding is in place, it's going to make it a lot easier for the homeowner to maintain these areas by standing on the ground and rinsing both the soffit and the walls. Now that we're up on the roof, I want to show you what we're getting into. So originally this roof had a cedar shake roof at some point, and you can see the copper step flashing behind the original board and batten. We are going to pull these nails loose, pull out this flashing so that the underlayment lays properly, and also for the fact that we don't want any dissimilar metals touching here. The new flashing will then go up this wall once it's waterproof and down over the roof, ready for the new panel install. All right, you can see right here at the step gable where the siding was, the hardy siding originally. We have all this prep now for stucco. We've got the wire lath installed, as well as the plastic bead where that simulated stucco, once it's finished, is gonna look like or mimic the hardy siding that was there. So we got the mud going on right now. Once the mud is spread, it'll be thinned out, ready for priming and painting. Now, one thing that we're doing, we're working right now on top of this 30-pound felt, which I cannot stand when guys install peel and stick and try to work on top of the peel and stick, damage the peel and stick. When you're doing this much work on a home or an office building, you've got way too many subs walking peel and stick, damaging it. If the 30-pound felt gets damaged, it can be repaired easily and prepped before the next layer, which in this case will be peel and stick, goes down. All right, so what I'm showing you guys right now is the fascia was installed too high. Originally, this was a shake roof, and the shake roof, it really didn't matter if the fascia was held high or not. So we installed new fascia in places where it needed to be replaced. We had to match the original height so that the corners met. Now we're having to go back because the fascia was installed at the proper height to begin with and cut the height of the fascia so that the bullnose drip edge will rest properly. All right, where I'm standing right now is on this balcony. We've replaced the fascia here with hardy. We've got the siding pulled off. We have this prep now for stucco as well. Prior to getting it prepped for stucco, we put copper flashing in. We soldered all the seams. Now we're gonna have a watertight system when this flat roof is complete. Now on the chimney, we have this prepped as well. We took hardy and we went around the top band. We're gonna bring the stucco up to the bottom of that hardy band board. Once the stucco is in place, we'll then be ready for a brand new chimney cap. All right, guys, we're really close to getting peel and stick over top the 30-pound felt. Unfortunately, we found a hump from the truss right here at this step gable location. We're removing the felt right now. We're gonna be removing the plywood. We're gonna correct this truss, install all brand new plywood. Now, if this were peel and stick, we'd be fighting this, but thankfully it's felt. I love using felt first for this reason right here. All right, so we just got this plywood removed. We have a string line snapped at the truss so that we can cut this truss down. Not the best idea, but in order to get rid of this hump, it's the best solution economically. We'll get these trusses trimmed and new plywood installed. guys, so we're moving forward with this project. We have the peel and stick directly over the 30-pound felt now. The guys are installing the standing seam panels now. A couple areas are now addressed on the roof. We got rid of the hump that was here in several different locations. The roof is really coming together. So while the guys are installing the panels, the painters are here painting this house. Now the homeowner selected a monorail silver by Sherwin-Williams. Me personally, I think the yellow looked better. Hit me up in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. All right guys, one thing I like about the mechanical panel is you have a clip that gets installed to the substrate. As these panels are installed to each other, you have a seamer that clamps over, and you're not relying on a snap lock panel. All right guys, this roof looks so much better with the standing seam in place. I'm so glad the homeowner allowed us to correct these trusses that were really bad. We changed out the siding to stucco, also able to clean up the chimney. We put a new stainless steel chimney cap. I see so many roofers leave old chimney caps and the runoff, whether it's galvanized or copper, gets all over the brand new roof. We were able to change that out as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that thumbs up button. Until next time, see ya.